We need a banter line.
A banter line.
Oh, a phantom line.
Do you have like an opener?
Isn't there in
Do you have
Pokemon
a
called a
story?
Bantamine?
Yeah, Bantamine. It is Mr. Mime's previous.
That's right. What are we going to do with one of them, Trent?
You want to do a Bantamine?
Banter mime.
You can if fun.
Fuck, I hate this show. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Alex, Mitch and Trent show. Hello, Alex.
Hi, Trent.
Hey, Mitch. How you doing?
Go, mate.
Good day. That's okay. I have to edit this, so this
Yeah.
nightmare of an intro is nothing new to me.
No, I thought it was pretty good.
I thought
I just wasn't ready for it.
I thought the first
But
one
we're always still
was,
just sort of getting
incredible.
a basic understanding on vocabulary, and Trent's like, righto, we're starting. So, okay, let's go.
What are we
Okay,
talking
don't-
about today, Mitch?
That is a great question. The board has been moved away from my eyeballs. Here we go.
Jason's just telling us to put our phones on silent.
Phones on silent,
You could've
guys.
ju- you could've
What
just
we
said
need
it
to do
instead of-
is...
yeah. You said he was rude about it.
I get he's taken up this like producer shit
Yeah.
quite seriously. I made a little crack at him before to bait him, and he like took
Took it
super
off
offense
some.
to it.
What happened? Was it good? Did
I
you
says,
rip it?
I'm just trying to produce the show properly, and he turned to me like I just insulted him.
I think ever since the shaved head, he's got a bit of an ego about him.
I don't know. I think it's brought me down a few pegs, if anything.
I don't know. You look gorgeous with it. You know, when good looks come, like add on top, then you know you get that bit of flair about you.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries, dude.
Thanks.
Anytime.
I guess I'm not worried about like fixing my hair constantly. I have a little bit more
Yeah,
time
yeah.
to talk.
I can't wait to do that one day. You know, we should just cancel hair
Cancel hair.
Oh, you bet me to it.
because cancel culture is what we're talking about. I know.
I was like, where are you going with it? Oh, I know where you're going with this.
I'm going to follow that.
Yeah.
We can't be cancelled because we've already cancelled ourselves. I like to think. Is that correct?
This show comes
God.
pre-cancelled.
Free cancelled just for your enjoyment.
I was thinking, my cancel culture, you know, things that have gone that, you know, obviously cancel culture is, you know, people have stomped out what people's things are and they oppress them.
Yep.
But I was thinking more light things, like things that have gone that I wish would come back, or things that are just gone in general, whether it's food products, you know.
What I'll
ranges from
do
all that.
for our listeners, I'll just give a quick brief description on cancel culture.
That sounds great.
Which cancel culture, or otherwise known as call-out culture, it's a phrase contemporary to the late 2010s to the early 2020s, used to refer to a form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles. And when that happens, you are cancelled.
Correct.
You know where we've seen a lot of that? A lot of people coming out, like in the wrestling industry.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
You know, with Dark Side of the Ring coming out, all these
Right,
stories
yeah.
about what wrestlers were doing back in the, you know, late 70s, early 80s, 90s, even recently. There's heaps still coming out, and how strict the repercussions are now compared to there was none.
When it was the Wild West.
There was none. There was
Yeah.
none 20, 30 years ago, but now the repercussions of those actions, you know, those many years ago, those repercussions are hitting them now,
Yeah.
and they're hitting them hard. And that's probably a good example of cancel culture, is just things that were done in the past that the repercussions are now sort of being brought to light more.
Yeah, and
Significantly.
another point of view, you could say, absolutely. Like even thinking like stuff as severe as like the Jeffrey Epstein and all that kind of stuff, like with how his kind of case. Long story short, you guys know Jeffrey?
Yeah, I know.
Long story short, dude, incredible amount of power in photos with like all presidents like of America, just hugely powerful. Like
He worked in financial
Yeah.
markets. He's a financier. He works in hedge funds.
Yeah.
So money.
he basically just ridiculously wealthy. Like he ended up purchasing an island, and long story short, it came out after years and years that there were allegations of that the island was basically like sex trafficking, but for underage. And there was a logbook of all the people that had been there, and then Washington,
attached to celebrities,
celebrities have been there.
Bill
There's
Clinton.
Clinton. There's lots of names were put there, and it doesn't necessarily, you kind of line things up, and you think, who knows? But
the thing was,
person
he was
attached to-
trafficking. He was flying underage girls onto this island.
Yeah.
So that's the big issue.
Yeah.
And through his offsider, or the madam as she's known,
He's
Ghislaine Maxwell.
That was
So she would manipulate these girls into performing sexual massages on Jeffrey and his guests while they're on this island.
So
and these girls had nowhere to escape or go because they're trapped on this island.
And then it was in the hundreds or even the thousands the amount of people that they created a full link of it, and then the people would tell their friends about it because they'd pay them really good money. So it's like, and then it just was like a vicious cycle, and then it ended up catching up to him because he ended up getting caught out, and then he ended up going to jail, and then
he was killed in jail or he committed suicide.
Trent, here we go, Trent with the conspiracy theory. Oh, no, he's like, and then the aliens came in and they smashed him. They absolutely smashed him.
I always say the disappointment thing was that names were never released of people who were a part of the trials for it. That's just like we have a right to know.
Yeah. So that all ended up catching up to him. So, I kind of took away from what I was originally talking about, but absolutely everything he did was horrific. There's nothing about that situation that was right at all. It was disgusting.
Well, through that scandal, Prince Andrew got roped into that, and he got cancelled.
Yeah.
A royal family member.
Royal family, yeah.
And he's just like been outcast. Like
there's also another documentary I watched on the British guy, the blonde hair bowl. What's his name?
Jason Bourne.
Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile.
Jimmy Savile, sorry.
Jimmy Savile. I watched that.
Jimmy will fix it.
This was identical. A situation where this guy was like the biggest guy in Britain, like the most popular person. Like, trying to think of an equivalent of Australia. Who would be like? I know it sounds terrible. Like Hugh Jackman. Like a huge,
like Molly Meldrum.
Yeah, like someone.
Steve
Irwin. Like the popularity of Steve Irwin. Like, imagine you see Steve Irwin walking down the street, everyone run him, hug him, walk him. Exact same. He had his own TV show. He did a marathon, and he had thousands of people following him. I watched the whole documentary on him. Like, he seemed like the perfect human, like from a TV perspective.
And then he was attached to like meeting people backstage, and it was just like
behind the scenes, he just had
dirty
person.
old man,
horrific human. Just could do what he wanted. Like, he had exact same as you get enough power.
That's your Weinstein as well, like the movie mogul. Like, huge movie mogul that basically would ruin actresses' careers because if they would sleep with him or wouldn't, or how that all turned out. It's ingrained in all of our past 2010 beforehand. It's ingrained in our culture.
Yeah,
and like it all started to come out, and it I don't know, it changed our society.
These cases that, like the crime ones that I've brought up, they're incredible versions of, and I mean as in, people are aware of what this person's done. Like, this needs to be heard. The victims need to be understood. They're great examples. There are also examples of people that have been cancelled that, might have had an opinion that was...
Cancel culture overlaps with, and this is probably another episode, but the hashtag MeToo movement.
Yes.
So there is some overlap.
Yeah.
And then people getting done for their political views now, that's where it seems to go next.
Yeah.
Is people who, if you don't align with the left, you get attacked on Twitter. If you align with the right, if you align with the right, you get attacked on Twitter. Yeah, but majority of people aren't one or the other. People have agreements in both political parties, and that's what I believe. I think I've seen.
And you get attacked for being on the fence.
It's like pick a side.
Where do you sit?
But nobody agrees with everything you see in politics, and it's just like you just got to pick the one that I guess. If one gives you 5 things you agree with and one gives you 3, you pick the one that you get 5 out of, It's kind of like what you kind of got to do. That's how I pick my political views. And, I wouldn't align myself with either.
That's on the record, Trent. Our show's going under. Our show's going under.
I just believe what I believe is peace and love.
That's almost as bad as my answer the other week on the podcast.
For sure. I mean, just be happy and just be vibrant, be accepting of each other and inclusive of everybody.
Yeah.
And besides like the fucked up situations, I think we all know where those lines are crossed. But as long as we're always trying to be better as a society, for sure.
Well, a huge recent-ish high-profile cancelling was the Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling due to her views on trans people.
Yes. Yeah.
And, so she was, putting her views across on Twitter. And she got piled on by the left. And subsequently, they were trying to cancel her through her just having views on an issue. And, that ties into freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Just because we don't agree with what someone's thoughts are on a certain issue doesn't mean they should be cancelled.
And
just shows you how freaking strong and overpowered social media is becoming and how influential it can be.
That's why when we had our podcast and we had the one on social media, I said I didn't like it. And it's a negative. This is all linked.
But that's the thing, like in that regard, like, yes, it's very strong.
I
and
know
powerful.
there's both.
Social media is a new thing. We are like, we're like 20 years into the digital age, 20, 30 years into the digital age of social media. We're babies in this. We don't know what the hell we're doing and how it's all going to work out.
Yeah, but we've fucking held on to it for dear life.
But free speech is important, I think, as well. I think debate is not like debate's the most important thing in our world. We should be able to there should be two sides to be able to find a middle ground. And if you lose that, then what do we become as a society?
I even just teaching this to kids, like, you don't have to you don't need to understand someone else's opinion or their emotion. Like, you need to understand their emotions, and you need to be accepting, even if you don't agree with it. It's not hard to. If someone says something completely polar opposite to your views, you don't have to shake their hand and say, "Yeah, okay," but you accept it. You go, "Okay, this person has a different feeling to me or a different opinion. They're raised differently. They've experienced different things." You don't have to agree with them, but you need to accept it. Even if it's wrong, not accepting the opinion, but hearing them, whether you agree or not, that's another story.
It shouldn't change your. You always listen to other people's sides, and your opinion can change, for sure.
Definitely.
However, you should be able to still teach whatever you may put. You still teach what you want. It shouldn't affect that.
Yeah, and then it's hard because when you hear someone's opinion and they express their feelings or whatever, that can then change your opinion on that person.
Absolutely.
And that's how cancel culture is kind of born, because someone is speaking out with their feelings on how they feel or what they've experienced, and then the other person goes, "I don't like what you've just said," and then everyone just goes, and then everyone communally
comes into a mindset, or philosophical mindset there, and how you live your life is it attached to your emotions, or is it attached to facts? And there's no easy way to kind of. It's always a mix of both. It can never be just one whole thing. So you can hear someone's opinion, and it tugs on your heartstrings, and it might affect your opinion there. But also sometimes, if you're not attached emotionally to a subject, it's just that
it's okay to not have an opinion on certain things.
Yeah.
Like, if you can see, you don't have to throw your 2 cents into everything. That's another thing that. Everyone feels like they're like obliged to just say their piece on something that really does not impact them or their immediate surrounding people.
Some people just like to have an argument, though.
Yeah,
and that's just
very, very valid point, Mitchell. What's that saying? Which is,
I have a saying as well. I was going to say, you go.
It is best to keep your mouth shut and remain a fool than to open your mouth and something and remove all doubt. That's it. Yeah.
I like Mitch's. Yeah. Well, my one was a very
Is it
simple
look a
version, but
fool?
it's kind of like.
Remain silent and look a fool.
No.
Oh no, I'm gonna forget.
Keep your mouth shut and remain a fool than to open your mouth and
That becomes problematic in itself.
erase all down.
Let me say this thing before I forget, guys. a simple thing that I think is a life lesson, and it's not don't be afraid to stand up or speak up, but if you've got nothing nice to say,
Yeah.
don't say it.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
I find myself as I'm getting older, one of the biggest things that's changed in me is sometimes I used to have no filter, and something would come in my brain and I'd want to say it, and I'd just say it and I'd be like, ugh, and then I'll, trying to catch the words. Now I'll just say it in my head first and go, yeah, glad I didn't say that. Because sometimes there's no positives in just saying that thing.
Yeah. I want to live my life the way I want to, and I think you should be able to live the life you want to.
And, and it doesn't mean you have to filter yourself and be afraid to say something. Like if someone's being silly or an idiot, you can tell them. Or if you don't agree with something, you tell them. Yeah. Maybe the way you say it, the way you communicate it.
There's no conversation that cannot start and end on an even and aggressive. Not aggressive. I don't want to say aggressive. But I'm saying there's no reason why. It can, of course, because people have that.
It never has to be.
Never has to be. Like there's always a way to have a discussion or a debate or whatever you want to call it.
A civilized conversation and just talk and have your opinions and
the same message gets across.
A lot of people aren't happy though with the point of agree to disagree.
Yeah, of course.
And it's.
I'm not saying that you gotta just you can't you can't sort it out. But I'm just saying that whole process does not need to be.
I love it.
I'm trying to chime in on these fancy fucking conversations. I say one word wrong and you blast me. I'm so far out of my depth right now talking this
you're
shit.
Doing incredible.
Yeah, process.
Agreed.
Fuck you. Tomato.
I think they should change.
Right.
Agreed.
See, I just completely contradicted everything I was saying about being calm and rational.
I know. And then you just start yelling at me.
You fucking dog.
I was trying to just correct your vocab. I just love the way you say it. I think they should change agree to disagree to accept to disagree. Because when you're agreeing with something, then you're agreeing with it. So if I say chocolate's the best and you disagree, and you agree to disagree, that means you're saying that chocolate is kind of the best. But if you accept it, that chocolate's... Oh, yeah, I don't know. I don't like agree to disagree.
We're not going to solve this issue today.
Okay to disagree.
That's the thing.
It's okay
and that's
to
okay.
disagree.
Yeah, that's
some people get into an argument and think that there and then this has to be resolved. Sometimes it takes 3 or 4 goes at sitting down and trying to sort it out.
I had this, especially. Do you want to hear this dumbass thought? You're gonna love it, you boys.
No, that's about all I had to say.
No, you boys are gonna absolutely love this. Okay, because I was sitting there. I was sitting there the other night and I was on my phone and I was scrolling through Facebook and the Collingwood match came up. One of my friends, a person on Facebook, shared a scenario that happened, and it was the handball scenario. And he was like, how the hell is that not a throw? The exact situation I'm talking about. And I watched it and I laughed. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to Google it. Jumped on Google. I'm like, can you handball with one hand for AFL rules? And it popped up and it goes, a handball is when you hold it with one hand and use the other hand to do it. If it's with one hand, it is not a handball.
Ooh.
You can Google it right now.
He got so angry at us in the car that we didn't.
But see what? There's nothing else to discuss.
No. The main reason why I disputed it is because I said it was situational.
Yeah.
I was watching a
I understand what you're
podcast
saying,
with
but
Mason
you're right.
Cox. Mason Cox, all-time Australian freak
hero,
football.
American hero,
Absolute,
now.
Absolute god. Now, he was having a conversation with one of the head... I believe he was one of the... I could be pulling this so far out of my ass, but he was one of the head coaches for the Australian AFL umpires.
Yeah,
right?
Was it Razor Ray?
No, I was literally just like a thing popped up, and I was watching it, and they were talking about those sort of things. And he goes, the best thing about AFL is there is a grey area.
Of course, bro.
And
Every sport.
You're never going to get everything right, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it adds fuel to the fire. Sometimes it may ruin a game, but sometimes it makes the game. Just like sometimes you got to find that line.
I couldn't agree more with everything you're saying. But I was just saying the rules. The rules when you handball.
Alex wants to be right here.
He didn't, he didn't.
That's your debate.
I knew that you were stitching up in the car, but
You've cancelled me.
he was adamant.
I've been cancelled for one-handed handball.
Yeah,
God.
we are cancelling it
I can
now.
never play football again.
See, we're getting cancelled over a handball.
If anyone watches AFL,
watch everybody DM me with their disdain at my
disgust.
handballing knowledge. God forbid.
So disgusting. I'm glad we cleared that up though.
Oh, well, there you go.
We are now cancelled forever. Jason. It is time for my favourite part of the show. The producer's pick. Go.
Alexi, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You know why I'm so excited?
Why? Do
Other
tell.
than Trent encouraging me right then, that we have absolutely no idea what is about to come flying our way. I'm so excited.
Sounds like a setup there.
Take it away, Jason. Go.
Thank you, Alexi. And that's right, to our discerning listeners, who we do love to call our amigos, it is now time.
Discerning amigos.
We are bringing that back. I don't think we say it enough. Our audience is our amigos.
Let's not cancel the
Didn't we?
amigos. Let's
Didn't
keep
we?
it going.
Didn't we agreed on that?
We
right?
agreed on it.
We had the show, the Adios Amigos.
Yeah.
Adios amigos.
Yeah.
Every
So I'm
show.
trying to make sure that I refer to them as amigos,
Discerning-
not just
discerning
listeners.
I like that.
And now it is time for the producers'
Well done. Hey, I have a question.
Please.
From a listener. I had a question regarding your beautiful intro. All right. The question I have, because now the producer's pick's on you. No, I'm just this is the Alex pick.
We're turning this around you.
when we officially end the season, whenever that is, and if we do seasons, whatever the process is,
We'll have a break eventually.
whatever the process is, are you going to change the tone or are you going to change the intro when you do it? So you know how you do
There will be a change.
Are you going to do different
Yeah.
harmonies? Are you going to
Yeah,
Okay,
we're going to mix
alright.
up the show.
Yeah.
Mix up the show.
Alright.
Mix up the producer's pick.
Love it.
Mix up the melody. Yeah.
Do I have to do we have to change the outro because Trent just got it and then if we have to
Yeah,
start
it's gonna
again.
be
Yeah.
I think we-
I'm concerned to change that.
Good producing.
I think on the last one of the season or before the break is that it'll be right, and then when we go back into a new season,
Start again, destroy it.
Because
Yeah.
putting that amount of change onto Trent
Yeah.
is like derailing like
my life.
a train.
We'd
So
have a pull of sweat in here.
I get anxiety.
It'd be
I get
bad.
anxiety on the way to work about it.
that seat will be so moist. Like if we do that, so we can't do that.
Shiver me timbers.
Jesus.
Do you practice that intro? Do you practice that intro on the way? It's like I practice the intro and outro in the car.
No,
Yeah,
Just
Trent,
comes to
when-
me.
If one day we
You
go
gotta
live,
feel it.
it's gonna be a.
I feel it in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be different. It'll be different.
No.
I'll be different in front of a
Well, you can have a
audience.
script in front of you on like a
Yeah.
laptop.
No, I
Can't
Literally,
bring that same script
literally.
you bring
I
every week.
believe-
Hello,
In the energy.
everybody, and
Hi
welcome.
guys.
No, I'll be holding cue cards
Yeah.
pretty much and just dropping them as I need to. Like
But
literally.
everyone in the crowd's gonna be like, "Is this guy serious?" I read off cards.
I believe in the live energy. I will get it right in front of a live audience. I had to.
There's gonna be so much laughing.
There's going to be...
Yeah, I'll walk on stage. It'll just be laughter because they know what's about to happen. It'll be the intro.
There's gonna be a lot of laughing from us and from them at us.
More so than matter.
Are we talking about a crowd as well? We want a crowd?
Yeah. 3-4 people. That's it.
I mean,
So I can
I'll bring
bring
me mum.
it. Yeah,
Bring
bring-
me mum and me nan.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all of our followers. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Hey, I'm happy. Remember with those wishes from last week, maybe we could fly the people over from
be
those
in
other
the
countries
audience.
to be in the audience. Yeah, 'cause
I
we've got some-
think that was you suggested that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
we're
we'll rent
actually
out
gonna-
like
yeah,
a,
well, it's
if
gonna
we
happen.
rent out like a bar like Hamish and Andy did. I know I don't like stealing ideas, but
We'll do it. You have to do it.
I love the idea of doing that at like a pub.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
Go to
good.
Dargo.
We should, yeah. Imagine that. Have a pub event and everyone just go to a pub and
We do a
with
live
all the
show.
fans
Yeah.
and
What we do a
all
show.
4 of them.
One bartender telling us to leave.
Trent will buy a round for all the fans to come.
from our massive budget.
Tax deductible. Don't worry, we're fine.
When we get sponsored, sure.
This has been the best producer pick I've ever had.
I know. What is the producer's pick?
As Mitch
producer's
as
pick?
Mitch
By the
was
way,
saying,
what
what's
is
going
that?
on?
What's going on? Yeah. What's happening?
Poor Mitchell. There's like a deer in front of the headlights right now.
High beams.
He's blinded.
blind.
So, yes, the producer's pick for today's show, Cancel Culture. Now, I'm going to give you boys an option.
Oh, okay. Options.
There's options.
The opposite of the trends. Sorry.
The opposite, Alex.
You're on the side of it.
Yeah, cancel them both.
We're cancelling the producers.
And on that note, thanks for listening.
Wait. Is that really what's happening?
I love it. It's my favorite part of the show. Because he voted against me and I voted against him, and then he said neither, so there's no vote.
Well, that cancels me out then, doesn't it?
You just started
This is the power of cancel culture.
Yeah, see? There you have it. There you have it, amigos. The power of cancel culture.
Written in the stars.
The majority rules, it seems.
Well, that's just like real cancel culture, isn't it? There's enough people in the Twitter sphere, enough, netizens pile on, bang, cancelled, you're gone.
Thanks for
Yeah.
Are we
brother.
against the producer's pick today?
Oh, that was
That was
wow, that was real subtle, Trent, real subtle. Okay, so
was there was a hint of aggression.
There
behind
was.
Let's
that.
just get into it. I mean,
there was-
we
I'm taking up too much
He's already forgotten
airtime.
everything that he
You
provided.
can't,
to
you
keep
can't
this-
pick the one he wanted now
We like
without comment.
We like to keep this at 30 minutes. We're not keeping this at 30 minutes if we keep going.
Well, there's
Okay.
been a couple of cuts, so the intro was bad, so we'll go for it.
Okay, well, I'm not giving you an option now. I'm not giving you any options. There's no more options.
Fuck it. So it's not going to be me in favour of me with my poor attitude. Fuck.
I
You
can't
don't
wait
have
for
anything nice to say, though.
say it all, mate.
Agree to disagree.
Okay, it's
Fuck
okay
the
to
dogs.
disagree.
Okay, so the producer's pick for today is: if you had the power, what would you bring back that was cancelled? Trent.
What would I bring back that was cancelled? I feel like maybe it has to be different, but I don't know. Your American Pie style films, like those comedy movies and like the Hangover films, like I feel like you don't see those quite like they were anymore. I think I don't think they were cancelled. I just think they're just not made. I feel like it's
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on. Like the culture that we have now isn't as maybe accepting, or the crowds aren't as accepting of that humor. Yeah,
it's
that's
fair.
a good call.
I feel like it's just we got to bring back that. I think like those were great. They were like they're just interesting in themselves. I think. What stand-up is stand-up's still doing it. I think stand-up still have that sort of humor to it, and that in movies, and it's not real. It's like you're going to see a comedian, talk shit. I'm not going into that, but like comedy movies should still have that element of like just the outrageous. It should be outrageous. You laugh at it like that's so fucked up.
The shock and awe value.
The shock value. I'm like, oh, what the hell? Because we all have our mates who have those ridiculous stories, whereas I was like, stuff happens where it's like people find themselves in ridiculous situations, not always by choice. And like, I think American Pie style films were like definitely like that was a great little niche of content. I don't think we have that anymore. Yeah. What about you, Alex?
I think I'm gonna go for like the real. Oh no, I had it. Don't go. No, wait.
You just cancelled your own thing.
No, I got it. It's
Goldfish brain. Here we go.
Yeah,
Come on, mate. Bring it back. Bring it back.
It is. It's coming. It's coming.
I've always said about Alexi, he is self-cancelling.
He is. I am literally self-cancelling. Every thought that I have gets cancelled. I remembered it. There you go, boys and girls. It only took about 6 minutes. So, I'm going to go for a more serious approach here. Trent was going for the light humour. If I had a choice to bring something back that was cancelled, whether it was cancelled by choice or funding or whatever the issue, Lipton iced tea daiquiri. was was the greatest drink.
Yes!
Lipton iced tea
good.
daiquiri was the best
good.
ever drink in the Lipton iced tea range. But probably one of the best soft drinks, which wasn't a soft drink technically, kind of, because it was an iced tea. But that, if you've never heard of or try it, chuck a Google and you'll get an image of what it looks like. But it was basically the
When
best
you made
drink.
those punches with that
Yeah.
daiquiri. Oh,
It is dead set one of the
Danger,
best drinks. And I do have to thank Trent for it because Trent introduced me to it. Absolutely
It was
divine
the
drink.
greatest hangover cure.
Yeah.
The greatest drink just to have by your side at any
Yeah.
time, warm or cold.
Yeah.
It was the best.
It was the best drink. I know you love every drink warm, so even I could say it was acceptable warm. It was that good. And yeah, I can't have another side note, but the mojito one was pretty good as well.
Don't have to tell lies.
But
that
that would
iced tea range.
yeah, the Lipton iced tea
Bring it back
orange.
to its
Yeah,
entirety.
Yes.
yeah. What about you, Mitch? Well,
This one's going to hit both your hearts. I can already pick it, and I'm going to lock it in, Eddie. I want to bring back the culture of Blockbusters and Video Easies instead of Netflix and Stan and all that.
Oh yeah, I want to.
Oh, jeez, and they broke the mic. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I love that.
The concept of you did your week at school, it was shit because school's just school. It's great, stay in it, do it, BCE for the win. But yeah, you finish school, a couple of the lads are like, oh, well, let's have a sleepover or whatever.
Slumber party.
Slumber party. I knew he said I wanted to say it.
I know
I'm like,
you did.
I got ripped last time I said it.
With the blankie.
With a blankie.
Yeah, bring my blankie and my little pillow. Yep. Anyway, we'd all collectively we'd walk down to the closest because back when I used to have Alex and Trent, not so much Trent, you didn't stay over too many times, but Alex, whenever you stayed at my house, we'd walk straight. I had a Video Easy, literally rock throw away.
Yeah, I remember that place.
Yeah.
There's a famous video of me
on the choo-choo train.
on the choo-choo train.
That's another story.
yeah. I'll send you that photo.
I'll put the video up in the Instagram. That's fine.
But literally, yeah. Once a fortnight, me and Alex would go. Sometimes Trent would go in there, and it was like, all right, we've got like $8 or $10. Like we need to be smart. What game?
priced.
What movie? Do we want to do a TV show, movie, and like that whole part of it, going through all these hundreds of thousands of movies, all different genres.
An hour
In there.
on a Friday night, spending an
Sometimes
hour
we'd
in there.
go in there and give up.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we just couldn't make a decision.
Yeah.
And then we'd just we'll have to do something else. We'd play video games instead.
This is a little bit of devil's advocate. I 150% agree with what you're saying, and I love it. Now we've just got life convenience where we
Yeah.
just pick any movie we want.
Yeah.
I think that for me would apply even more if I had kids.
Yeah.
Like imagine being able to take your kid to Blockbuster
Yeah.
and they just run
They
around
do the
like,
whole thing. So we'll go to Blockbuster, then we'll
Yeah.
go to the server,
The
get
fish
some
and chip
snacks,
shop.
Get the fish and chip
Oh,
shop.
such a good
Yeah,
option.
Mum
Yeah.
would take me once a week and give me the weekly one, so you get like 4 weekly ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
so-
weren't as good as the daily ones.
Yeah,
or the,
or
ones
the new
that-
releases.
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
releases, and they were like
I get
so
one of
expensive.
those, and I get a bunch of weeklies, and then she'd go to the shops, and then start, and I'd be still in there until she come back. Time to go. I'm like, one sec, Mum.
What I used to love as a kid about the Video Easy and the Blockbusters is, let's just say, like, I was an N64 kid.
Oh,
so I had an
yes.
N64.
Yeah.
But there was obviously games which were only on the PlayStation console that you might want to play. Like Mortal Kombat, I think. Oh, no. Maybe it was Tekken. Yeah, it was Tekken, sorry. So what I would do, I would go down to Video Easy and I would rent out a PlayStation and those PlayStation games which you can't play on other consoles.
Yeah.
And just nerd out on.
Yeah, well, I think we were just phased out. We could never rent the consoles.
Oh, you could rent the console.
Yeah.
You used to be able to rent the consoles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I remember doing that as a kid.
But I used to rent out like Call of Duty, and I would just like take the late fee, and I just have Call of Duty, and I'd be spending $2 a day for that until eventually.
Yeah, totally.
Not that I know anyone who's illegally done this because I don't support illegal stuff. But I knew a friend, and this person used to go to Blockbuster, and he used to could be a guy or a girl, don't know who it is.
Yeah,
to this day.
who could it be?
No idea, dude. He used to go and get, he or she used to go and get the games, and then take them home, and then put them into their Xbox, and then they will install that game onto their Xbox because it had a chip on it. Yeah, this person explained it to me in lots and lots of details, but Yeah, I thought it was highly illegal. Didn't really agree with it.
No, you.
But yeah, I was.
Person who would
I'm
do
actually.
that?
I'm not friends with them anymore. Believe it or not. A long time ago, left them.
Yeah, he sounds. Or they sound like a jerk.
Oh, they're literally Trent. You would have hated him.
Sound like one of those, you know,
Yeah.
those 2-for-1 guys.
Oh, nah, not that bad. He's not that bad. yeah. So apparently, I knew a friend who used to do that. He used to go in, grab the game for a daily, put it in his Xbox, install it onto his Xbox, then give it back the next day. You've just got a new game every time you do it.
What a
Yeah.
guy.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymor. Yeah. Maybe too many people were doing that. That's why they closed them.
What a
I'm going to have a word to that guy. Or girl. I just don't know.
Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Alex, Mitch and Trent Show. Don't forget to like and subscribe where you can. Rate us 5 stars. And follow us on Instagram, the Alex, Mitch and Trent Show. You can follow us there. I was doing so good.
Yeah, you were,
You
and
can
it
follow us.
derailed. That derailed quick.
Following over there.
It was-
Ready to go to speak, and he's like,
It was quick and brutal. That derailment. Oh, well.
I don't get to do this like in peace. It's like usually the boys putting faces around me. All right, it is. It is. It's like I pull face. Anyway,
I swear that I
follow us on our pipes. If you want to contribute to the show, you can email us. It's all in our link dump. Tune in next week.
Oh, don't.
We'll be back regardless.
Adios, amigo.